Hello guys, I welcome you all on this wonderful platform that is BYJU'S exam prep. So as you know, Ground Zero series is going on and this is the third lecture for the welding operations. We are having the highly animated videos, you can say, for the processes we have seen already. So today we will talk about the resistance welding process. As we have already seen the arc welding, which was a high voltage and low current welding process. Today's process, which is resistance welding, is just opposite of that. It is low voltage and high current welding. When I am saying high current welding, the current ranges are going to be always more than 10 to 15,000 amperes. And my dear, here we will not only be using the heat as well as pressure. So it is going to use the application of both heat and pressure. When we are talking about the resistance welding, there are majorly 5 types. Number 1 is spot welding, number 2 projection welding, number 3 seam welding, number 4 flash butt welding, and number 5 high frequency resistance or induction welding process. First of all, we will talk about the resistance spot welding process. In resistance spot welding process, we will be having 2 plates, and why it was required actually. In arc welding, we were making all the joints to be like butt joints in nature. So for the first time when we thought of lap joint configuration, we come up with the spot welding. We are having 2 plates kept together like this, and we will be having 2 copper electrodes. One is coming from the top, other is from the bottom. Bottom electrode will remain the fix and top one will be pressing the plates, and obviously some penetration will also happen. And that phase is said to be the squeezing phase. After that, we will be applying some current, whatever is required, more than 10 to 15,000 amperes. When the current will be passing, you know that in the spot welding, when we are talking about, there are interfaces. First interface is between electrode and the plate. Second is between obviously the plate and the other plate. Third one is once again from the plate and electrode. If we talk about major resistances, one resistance is offered by the copper electrode. Second resistance offered by the copper electrode and the plate 1. Third resistance will be offered by the plate. Fourth will be offered by the interface between the plates. If you see all the 4 resistances, the interface between the plates is said to be the highest one. And that is why when current will be passed, current is always passed for a very small duration because of very high range of current. So when the current will be passed for a very small duration, you will see more heat will be generated where resistance is more, and resistance at the interface of plates is found to be the highest one and even more than the combination of others. So that is why more heat will be generated there. So from there metal starts melting, and that fusion zone is increasing up to the electrodes, and generally any shape can be possible for the fusion zone. It is similar to the weld bead, but in resistance welding we are giving the name of weld nugget in place of weld bead. And guys, for the calculation purpose, we generally assume those nugget to be either cylindrical or spherical, otherwise shape can be any. So this was the spot welding process. Spot welding process is used in automobile industries, and we are using it where we want you can say the joints which are sound joints, sound quality welds are performed by this. But this is a discontinuous process, as you know. So when we are talking about the one more process of resistance welding, so the second process is projection welding. It is also said to be the multi-spot welding. Here we are going to make the projections on a plate. And my dear, when we are making the projection on a plate, as during the welding, plastic deformation of the projections would be taking place. So either we need to select the plate for projection, either whose thickness is more or whose conductivity is more. And I would also like to tell you, like in the resistance projection resistance welding, when we are talking about, projections are made by embossing process, which is similar to the coining process. We will see them in the metal forming series of Ground Zero. So when we are talking about this, projections are there. So whenever the sheets are coming in contact with each other, first of all, we are applying the pressure because of which the projections will be broken. After breaking of the projection, my dear, obviously current will be passed, and due to current, obviously at the interface more heat generation will happen and weld will be producing. So as I already told you, while the selection of the plate with the projections, because of plastic deformation, more heat is generated. So selection should be as per either with the more thickness or with the more conductivity. So my dear, when we are talking about multi-sport welding, it is just similar to the sport welding, but here we are making the multiple sports. Then I will talk about the third type, that is seam welding. In the seam welding, it is going to make something, the you can say leak proof joints. It is going to give you continuous welding, where we are using the two plates together, and from them some discs, two discs or rollers are there, and those discs are there, and between the disc we are passing two plates. So initially, because of the pressure of the disc, some penetration will also happen onto the surface. After that, when they are rotating over the surface, during that period current is also passing continuously. So because of that, the weld is going to be produced between the plates continuously, and as it is a continuous welding process, but as the current is coming continuously, so here some loss of current also happen, because some current may pass already welded portion, which is also said to be the shunting of current. And this type of welding is generally used to make some jali kind of structure, or any continuous weld where we want to make the leak proof joint, or you want to join continuously the wires like that. Then my dear, we will be coming on to the next process, that is nothing but the flash butt weld. So till now, whatever the process we have seen in resistance welding, they are used for making the lap joint configuration. So yes, resistance welding can also be used for the butt joint configuration. Flash butt welding is one of the example of that, which is used to join the railway tracks in the developed countries, because in the underdeveloped countries, or you can say developing countries like India, we are using thermit welding for the same. The reason behind that, a high value of current is required, so very big setup required for resistance welding. That is why we are not preferring this, because in India railway network is very big. There are some places where maybe electricity is not there, but railway network is there. So we are using thermit welding for the same. But yes, flash butt weld can be used. In flash butt weld, you will be having the, like let us say, two rods are there. They are going to be moving towards each other. So when they will be moving towards each other, they will be in contact with each other. Obviously, we are using the pressure as well as heat. A high value of current, like 1 lakh ampere current is passed. So when that much current will be passed along with the pressure, initially if any oxide layer is present, it will burnt away. So because of that, some flash will generate. That's why the name is flash butt weld. And after that, due to pressure and due to very high heat that is coming because of very high current, so my dear, the surfaces in contact will become soft and they will join together, and this is how the flash butt weld takes place. Flash butt weld, whenever we are going to make it using 10.5 amperes of current, which is a very high value. So guys, these are the resistance welding processes. In the upcoming videos, we will also discuss about thermit welding, electron beam welding, or high frequency resistance and induction welding. For the timing, just to have such type of videos, stay tuned with us. Hope you are enjoying these highly animated videos. We are coming up with a practice session that also you can join on Sunday, so that we will practice the questions on the welding operations. Stay tuned.